All right, we got some official divine today. How strong is a metroman? I know I'm late, 11 days late. I was on vacation. I was out visiting family and friends and stuff like that. So we're catching up on some videos. Metroman, though, I heard is like the perfected Superman, like exactly what and how Superman should be. Also, shout out Megamind. Some of y'all built just like him. Hey, that's just an observation. But it was a great movie. The fact that I guess the villain became the hero because he made a villain. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know. All right, let's check it out. Shout out OfficialDivine.
Often dismissed as a parody, a shining Superman knockoff dropped into the world of Megamind. The last survivor of a dying planet, Metroman was sculpted by fate into the archetype of an invulnerable protector. Raised in luxury, admired by millions, and idolized as a flawless symbol of justice, Metroman didn't win battles, he made battles meaningless, and his eventual retirement wasn't proof of it.
Made battles meaningless. Bro, because he's too strong. Like, why are we fighting for? What's the point of these battles if I'm gonna win anyways, bro? You feel me? Vash, you low-key look like him? Come on now, chat, come on now. Yo, Vic, you my favorite viewer right now. Come on now. Of course I'm built like him, bro. I go to the gym every day.
Battles meaningless, and his eventual retirement wasn't proof of his weakness, but of his overwhelming strength. After all, why even fight if nothing can touch you? The single most infamous weapon Megamind has ever created was the Death Ray. It was here that Metroman's durability enters absurd levels. Unlike the gimmick devices of earlier battles, the Death Ray was explicitly powered by the concentrated energy of the sun.
That's crazy.
And that phrasing isn't poetic at all, it's literal. The sun is the most destructive furnace in our solar system, a cosmic engine outputting 3.8 times 10 to the 26 joules every single second.
That's
the equivalent of detonating 91 billion megatons of TNT per second. To put this into perspective, the most powerful bomb humanity has ever built, the Tsar Bomba, was 50 megatons, which means the sun produces the force of 1.8 billion Tsar Bombas every single second.
And that was the strength of that beam that he was about to hit him with. But it didn't matter, bruh. Because it's Metroman.
This is the power that Megamind was able to channel, a star compressed into a single beam of destruction. A solar laser designed to erase Metroman from existence, and yet Metroman stood in its path, smiled, and said he never felt so alive. What does it mean to tank the energy of a star? It means that Metroman is much more powerful than we thought, nearing star levels of durability.
True. And the thing is, he didn't even have to quote-unquote tank it or whatever. The way they showed his speed feat, right? Him being a speedster because he's super fast. Everything was in slow motion. Everything was, yeah, I guess standing still. And then he was moving through that and was able to go to the city, through the city, and like see the people. And he's like, bro, I don't even want to be a I don't want to be a superhero no more.
To really get a grasp on how crazy this actually is, consider real-world disasters. The meteor, the extinction level impact that wiped out the dinosaurs. That only released 10 to the 23 joules of energy, and that single strike rewrote life on Earth. But the Death Ray, even at 1 second of solar output, was 1,000 times stronger. Or even take the eruption of Krakatoa in 1883, which released 8.5 times 10 to the 17 joules and shattered eardrums 5,000 kilometers away.
That's crazy.
Metroman's Death Ray feat eclipses this by hundreds of millions of times. Even if the combined nuclear arsenal of Earth, roughly 7 times 10 to the 19 joules, were detonated all at once, it would still pale in comparison. And these comparisons don't even exaggerate Metroman's invulnerability, they illustrate it. He wasn't shrugging off missiles or tanks, he was literally standing in front of a bottled star and smiled. But even without the Death Ray feat, Metroman's feats are extremely impressive. Even while retired and visibly out of shape as Music Man, he casually tunneled to the Earth's core in under a minute. That means tearing through 2,900 kilometers of mantle and crust, denser and hotter than anything humans can engineer, and roughly 50 kilometers per second. To move at that speed requires energy outputs in the exaton range, around 10 to the 18 joules.
I don't even know what that means, bro.
Before, the energy of the meteor that destroyed the dinosaurs was 10 to the 23 joules of energy, which means Metroman, while retired, is coming close to the energy that wiped out the dinosaurs, and he's doing this casually.
Exactly. I don't even think him being retired even matters. Like, would he lose his power over time? I don't even think so, but Yeah, Flash would be the fastest if the writers actually let him off the leash. Bro, every speedster, they're not done justice in their own universe. It doesn't make sense. I feel like you said, if the writers actually wrote a speedster the right way, that would technically be the strongest being in that universe, bro. Because, bro, we're talking about speed. If they move the way they describe them, technically everything is frozen, and they aren't. They could dodge everything. They could see everything. They could react to everything. You feel what I'm saying? Not counting Wally West. Oh yeah, Wally West. I mean, I don't really know much about like the comics and stuff like that. He's written well, like we know of Wally West, but I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, the Flash getting hit by a bullet. That don't even make sense, bro. Genuinely does not even make sense.
Casually. For comparison, the Tunguska event of 1908.
Spider-Man as the villain would be terrifying. That's also true. But he's always holding back. So I guess Wally West is written right then.
And he's doing this casually. For comparison, the Tunguska event of 1908 flattened 2,000 square kilometers of Siberian forest with an estimated 10 to the 17 joules of energy.
Damn.
Metroman's tunneling feat exceeds this by a factor of 10, all performed without struggle, without injury, and without the sense that he was trying to push himself. If he can casually replicate exaton level destruction while retired, it shows you how much he was holding back in his prime. The more fascinating scaling arguments for Metroman comes from Titan, a villain created from nothing more than a flake of dandruff off of Metroman's cape.
That's
Even
a
with
flex.
this microscopic fraction of his DNA, Titan was able to obliterate massive formations of brain bots and city-level explosions. If this level of destruction was able to be replicated by a sliver of his essence, then the true Metroman strength is magnitude stronger. If Titan is a spark, then Metroman is a wildfire. If Titan is a dynamite stick, then Metroman is a nuclear bomb.
That's true, bro, because they built him off of dandruff. Bro, that is crazy, bro. Not even a hair, not even, you know what I'm saying, a freaking speck of dandruff. Now, what if he actually got his, I don't know, his blood, or like I said, a piece of hair, or something that's more powerful, that gives him a more accurate representation of like maybe his DNA, or, you know what I'm saying, his blood or something. But nah, he made it off of dandruff, which means that the real Metroman would be, bro, 1,000 times stronger than this bum.
But this is pretty obvious, as Titan, even after getting all of the powers of Metroman and training to learn how to use them, was completely terrified of fighting Metroman one-on-one, to the point that he didn't even believe he would survive a single punch. Yet strength and durability are only part of the picture. Metroman's speed is where he really shines. In one of the most famous scenes, he perceives a frozen frame of video, a moment less than a second, as hours of activity.
Yes.
In that instant, he was able to reread books, reflect on his life, and plot a plan to fake his death. This feat implies 86,400 times time dilation, meaning he can process reality tens of thousands of times faster than normal. But his crowning speed feat comes during the death ray sequence. As the solar beam approaches, Metroman flew to a nursing school and back before the light even arrived. Light itself moves at nearly 3,000 kilometers per second,
and bro just moved,
circling the Earth 7 times in 1 second. But Metroman was able to outrun it and perceived it in slow motion and returned before anyone realized he had even moved. This would mean Metroman's speed without even trying is faster than light plus. For perspective, the fastest
that is kind of crazy, bro. He literally watched it. He's like, man,
been trying.
What am I gonna do? And bro had like so much time to think. He was out there, look, eating, the happiest me I can be. Bro, he read a book. He was eating. Bro went out to the park. What? Did all of that in technically 1 or less than a second. I don't even know. And had time to think that he wanted to retire too.
Kilometers per second, capable of circling the Earth 7 times in 1 second.
Damn.
But Metroman was able to outrun it and perceived it in slow motion and returned before anyone realized he had even moved.
Yeah.
This would mean Metroman's speed without even trying is faster than light plus. For perspective, the fastest aircraft ever built, the SR-71 Blackbird, travels at 3,500 kilometers per hour. Metroman could cover the distance before the Blackbird engines even roared to life. life. And keep in mind, this is while Metroman is heavily mentally nerfed, as he literally says that his head just wasn't in the game that day. But what is a superhero without them lifting some pretty heavy stuff? Metroman is capable of moving hundreds of thousands of tons. This is the equivalent of hosting an air carrier as casually as one strums a guitar, but scaling places him even higher. Titan, while powered by a fraction of Metroman's DNA through Metro Tower, a massive skyscraper weighing millions of tons across a city block.
That is
Metroman
insane.
Outscaling Titan with just a fraction of his
Yo,
strength,
he
meaning
throwing
he
a
can
building.
move billions of tons. And it's not like lifting steel beams, that's shifting mountains, that's juggling tectonic plates. In terms of stamina, Metroman once went through an entire day in super speed, perspective moving, thinking, and acting non-stop. And he does this without even showing the slightest sign of fatigue. He doesn't just endure fights, he endures existence at impossible speeds.
Oh, that's true. The Earth is standing still, technically, right? Everyone's frozen. He's still in hyper time, which kind of has a drawback to, you know what I'm saying, to your body. There's like, your body should be fatigued or like hurting or something like that. But nah, bro, he chilling. He's chilling, bruh.
And his versatility completes the arsenal. Heat vision precise enough to cut through steel at 1,500 degrees Celsius, super breath capable of extinguishing raging fires, telescope and X-ray vision meaning he can see almost anything, and of course walking on water that mocks the laws of physics. Metroman isn't just strong or fast, he's a toolbox of powers and he's mastered all of them. With all of this assembled, the truth is undeniable. Overall, Metroman would scale from multi-continental to nearing star level with faster than light plus speed. Metroman didn't retire because he failed, he retired because the world failed him. In a sandbox designed for
That's true. The Earth is standing still, technically, right? Everyone's frozen. He's still in hyper time, which kind of has a drawback to, you know what I'm saying, to your body. There's like, your body should be fatigued or like hurting or something like that. But nah, bro, he chilling. He's chilling, bruh. And is this or comics or shows or whatever, but this is only based off what we see in his universe. Now, because he's compared to Superman, technically he could do whatever he does, but we see more of Superman. That's the thing. We see him more in the comics, we see him more in the shows, we see him doing more in movies. You feel what I'm saying? There's just so much more media and stuff like that surrounding Superman, whereas there's not much from Metroman. But technically he should be higher. But I understand this, right? I don't have a problem with this. Like whatever.
To nearing star level with faster than light plus speed.
Yeah, this
Metroman
is okay.
Didn't retire because he failed. He retired because the world failed him. In a sandbox designed for rivalries, he was a god with no equal. The death ray confirmed what every battle had already hinted at. Metroman wasn't just invulnerable, he was inevitable. He was the man who tanked the sun and walked away smiling. But there's one thing that we can all agree on. We love you, Metroman.
And I love you, random citizen.
Let me kiss your feet.
Guys, Divine, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys like and subscribe.
I got you, mom. It's true. The Earth is standing still, technically, right? Everyone's frozen. He's still in hyper time, which kind of has a drawback to, you know what I'm saying, to your body. There's like, your body should be fatigued or like hurting or something like that. But nah, bro, he chilling. He's chilling, bruh. And you can barely see it, but yeah, that was a letdown. Whatever that was. Official www video, my boy. Bro, what is wrong with y'all, bro? He just said Markiplier is OP, and he looks like God himself. And then bro says /Markiplier. Okay, buddy. Metroman didn't retire because he failed. He retired because the world failed him. And also, he's bored, bro. What the heck he's gonna do? He's always gonna come out on top. I thought you were dead. My death was greatly exaggerated by himself. Dude's weakness is boredom. That is actually insane. That's crazy. That is a flex right there. Bro, I don't know, man. I'm just bored. Okay. Yo, W video, my butt. Shout out Official. Yes, sir.